Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to another Snap Judgment review. What is a Snap Judgment review if you've never watched before? I think game reviewers nowadays get a little caught up in 100%ing or near completing a game. They forget what it's like to just play it right off the bat. So I do about 5 to 10 hours with a game, just giving you an idea whether you're going to enjoy it right away or not. That, coupled with the fact that I think games are one of the most subjective forms of art, I do not score my reviews. I'm going to give you an overview of what the game is. I'm going to list the pros and the cons of the game in my point of view, as all reviews are. And then I'll tell you whether I'll be sticking with the game outside the purposes of this review or not. So, what am I reviewing today? Another roguelite. Just did Balacho. Now we're doing this. Guys, Blueprints. Very interesting game. This one just got really big. I'm behind the trend on all games recently, but this one just got really big, so let's talk about it. Blueprints is a very interesting game. It is a roguelite. It's in the first person. You kind of how do I explain this? You are a character who is a young a teenage kid who is been given an estate. Just a rich estate, basically, from a dead uncle. But to get that estate, to actually acquire all the money and riches that go along with it, they have to get to room 46 in this manor, right? Room 46 is hidden somewhere in the manor, and the manor daily changes its rooms. This game is so interesting because the idea behind it is that you're drafting the room. So what'll happen is you start in this entryway. You'll have 3 doors, right, left, forward, and then of course the entryway behind you. When you open a door, you get a selection of 3 new rooms. Each room gets you maybe an item, maybe it gets you more steps, maybe it gives you more whatever. Maybe it hurts you, but whatever, you have to pick one of those rooms, and then that room is added. Also, each room has a different set of doorways to enter and exit from through the room. And then you start with 50 steps a day, steps being each time you enter a new room, you lose a step. Or you go back to, anytime you change rooms, you lose a step. So, you're trying to get to room 46 before you run out of steps, and you're trying to draft the manor. There's 5 spaces by I think 10 that you can draft rooms on, these square rooms. You can find keys to unlock open doors. Each room, some rooms have like mysteries. There's this whole pump room that I could not figure out for the life of me. Then the game itself also has a fair bit of lore that you can uncover while going through it, and a lot of really interesting specials that unlock bigger wings. One of the things I'll point out is I managed to find a breaker box, turn on the power to the garage, so when I found the garage, I could actually open the garage door, which allowed me to enter the west side of the house on the exterior, which has an outside room, which if I'll spend the 3 steps to go all the way back to it, I can access right off the bat, and always gives me some sort of special effect. So that kind of stuff. You can get items like a sledgehammer breaks padlocks, a shovel will dig up holes so you can find more stuff. Gold allows you to buy stuff if you find a store. And then at the end of the day, it all resets. With the exception of some like permanent things, such as the field being open permanently. And that's Blueprints. There are some interesting things about this, because when you look at the map, you can access the map at any time. When you look at the map, you see where you started and you see the rooms you've created. And then at the far end, there's something called the antechamber, and there doesn't seem to be a way in. I thought when I first started playing, and we're going to talk about this a little bit in the cons, that you just have to get to the antechamber, but there's something more to it that isn't quite explained in this. But that's the game. That's the loop. You see how many rooms you can get through, you see how many steps you have, and what's interesting is you have to weigh, do I move forward to get to higher levels of the house, or do I just draft, side by side to kind of fill out more things and get more equipment and items and stuff like that. All right. Not exactly sure where it was. Sorry, everybody. My kid just came down. I had to pause it for a second. But as I was saying, so the idea is just to kind of fill out this room and kind of decide whether moving forward is the right way to go or collecting items is the right way to go while you're uncovering, the story around you. There was some things I liked about this, some things I didn't like about it. Let's get into it. Pros. This is incredibly unique. The creativity and the uniqueness of this game. I love that we live in a world right now where AA indie designers are absolutely bringing some of the greatest stuff forward. They are innovating what it is to make a game, and they are doing it with less technology and less money than the big AAA guys. You know what? I'm going to go on a little rant since this review will be short. Otherwise, for my money, all of the cool things in gaming right now is in AA and under. Nothing is in the AAA. The AAA guys are so concerned with microtransactions, sustained income, how much money they get on it, and graphical fidelity that they're just missing the point. And how many times, whereas the whole point is innovation, and the AA guys and the indie guys, they're actually innovating. You look at Badlands Crew, this game, Balatro, games that are truly we only can do so much with it. We're going to do something really interesting, new, that's never been done before. Something that is a new, interesting, and revolutionary concept. And that's what I like to see nowadays. That being said, this game might not have been for me, but still, it is unique to anything. I've never seen a roguelike like this, where it's all about the rooms. It's not about the combat. It's not necessarily about the build of the character. It's much more about the build of the house and how you're moving through the house with the mystery at the forefront. And I think that is really cool and interesting, and I enjoyed that thoroughly. I also really enjoyed the art style of this. It has this kind of cell shading that just makes it feel really cool, almost like you're in a painting of some sort. And I thought that was really interesting. And it really fit the motif of the house itself. That brings us to the cons. For the cons, my biggest con is I don't know what the fuck is going on ever in this game. Sorry for a swear. I usually don't do that on the reviews. But man, I had no idea, and I don't feel like there's enough direction. And this is probably, for everybody out there who's moaning this idiot, fair enough, I'm an idiot. I don't fault you for thinking I'm dumb for not knowing what the hell I'm doing. But that being said, I'm still the reviewer. I'm still the guy who's got to call it out. And I just don't feel like I knew what was going on. I felt like very clearly it was get to the antechamber. But when I got to the antechamber, there's no way to get into the antechamber. And it keeps talking about this room 46. How do I find the room 46? The one thing about a roguelite, right, that absolutely I think is necessary is a defined goal. You look at Balatro, there is a number of chips that you have to hit. You look at Hades, it's about getting to the end, beating the boss, getting through the level. You know where that is. You know how to get there. It's just how do I actually get myself there? With this game, this room 46 is just absent. And no one really says how to get there. No one says where it is. There's a room at the other side of the manor, but you're not really supposed to go there. Or maybe you are, but you have to do something that I don't understand. And for my money, I cannot figure out what that is. I am sure, absolutely positive, that I could go to YouTube. I could look up how to get what the antechamber deal is, how to get to room 46. I don't want to do that, though. I want it to be a little bit more clear. I understand that this game is about the mystery a little bit. I don't want the mystery to be the goal, especially in a roguelite. I don't want the mystery to be here, like the point of the game. I want to know at least how to get to the place. Maybe not how to build my deck out, but the goal. Show me the carrot. Right now, it's not even the carrot on the string. It's somebody telling me there might be a carrot on a string at some point in the future. And that's not enough for me. So, and the mystery, I talked about Atomfall recently doing this really cool thing that kind of sucked you into the plot, made you actually read the the messages that you found and stuff, because that was contextually how you found everything in the game. Blueprints tries to do that, and I found myself skipping through a lot of stuff, which, again, that could have been the stuff I needed. I don't know. I just wasn't that interested in that story. Again, this could be a real nitpicky. This could just be my taste in things, but I feel the need to say something about it here because other people might be like me and want to know a little bit more. So yeah. So let's go to whether or not I'm going to be playing it more. I don't think so. I don't think this one's for me. I think it's really interesting and unique. I've definitely tried a few runs, but I need a little bit more of a goal. I need to know what I'm doing a little bit more than what this game likes to tell. I'm not saying that other people won't enjoy this. I think a lot of other people are going to enjoy it. I mean, they have, obviously. It's a very popular game. I'm behind the trend. This is a hugely successful, popular game. And it should be. It is an incredibly creative, unique game. I just don't think it's specifically hitting me the way that it's hit other people, and that's completely fine. Not everybody's going to love every game. But as a longtime game player, game reviewer, I can respect this game for what it is, which is true uniqueness and a true high-concept individuality, and I love that. So did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? You can let me know in the comments below. You can also find us on Blue Sky at Axiom Games, LLC/Old Man Gaming. And then, of course, as long as you guys keep watching and listening, we'll keep making them. I've got one more review coming sometime in the future. I'm working on it. It's going to take me a little bit longer. So just stay tuned to the channel for podcasts, TTRPG stuff, and gaming stuff.